Chat, impossible Lego animations. Here we go.
I'm a LEGO animator, and in this video I'm challenging myself to animate impossible LEGO animations. From twisting minifigures to flying and trick shots, these animations are definitely gonna be impossible. Anyway, let's begin animating.
Huh? I actually missed the spacebar. I hit the edge of my table. Dude, what? I know we're gonna like go through this in the video, but
These animations
how do you do that? Like the flying thing.
are definitely gonna be impossible. Anyway, let's begin animating. Running at the speed of light is impossible, so time to make this figure run fast. When something moves at a high speed, you get this blurred look in camera. Traditional animators have been using something called smear frames to recreate that in animations. To do this with LEGO,
That's
we
crazy.
can build
I know
brick blurs
that,
like
I didn't know they like use them.
create
That's
that
like,
in animations.
huh? What is that? I know like they do this in like animations, especially in like their newer ones. Like I'm pretty sure Spider-Verse, the Spider-Verse movie series, they do that.
To do this with LEGO, we can build brick blurs like this. This technique was
That's
actually used in
crazy.
the LEGO movie to make some characters
Like
move around
Sonic.
fast while building. You put the brick blur behind your character and now it looks like it's moving at super speed. I've used this technique several times before
Oh,
and
look,
made
it's
super
Sonic.
fast characters like Sonic the Hedgehog. You can also use it for the Flash. I built a couple different lengths for different speeds. The faster you want the figure to move, the longer the blur. I
That's
animated the
crazy.
figure running at normal speed first to compare it with the faster one. And here's the one with the brick blur. The minifigure runs across the base plate in less than a second. I'd say that's quite fast. Another way to animate super speed
Dude, I've got like recently I've kind of gotten like into like stop motion, but like this is crazy, bro. Like I would have never thought about using like those like brick built pieces for like speed lines, I guess, if that makes sense. But I mean, I've done some like Lego animations like for like small parts of my videos, but should I do like a whole video like where I do like animations and stuff? I think that would be pretty cool. Or like make like a whole movie chat.
a bunch of identical minifigures. You just replace the brick blur with the figures and they basically do the same job. Now I can make the figure run around this laptop at impossible speeds. But you know what isn't impossible? Hitting that subscribe button. I'm sorry. Let's move on. Separate
Y'all heard the guy. Hit the subscribe button right now.
2x2 plates stuck together like this is pretty much impossible. I have ruined many fingernails.
Chat, my fingers are cooks. Sorry the lighting's terrible, bro. I just grabbed the lights I had. Dude, I chip my nails so badly. It's crazy. I'm like the amount. I don't have like chipped nails right now because I haven't been like building recently. I've been kind of just like filming, but like my nails are just terrible compared to like other people.
The Pride Party speed
I keep forgetting, my bad.
over the years. But there's a simple solution, introducing the brick separator, the perfect tool for separating LEGO pieces from each other. But one of them is not enough for this scenario. You
I need
actually need
two.
two of them unless you want to ruin your pieces. Place the brick separators on top and bottom like this and then press them together and go. Now, my plan is to animate this action with stop motion. But you might ask, why not just film it? Well, I wanna add a twist at the end of the animation, which can't be done by filming. Now both of my hands will be visible in the frame, so how on earth do I press the shutter button if I can't use my hands? Easy
Yeah.
with my feet. So I started animating and
That works
quickly
too,
found
I
out
guess.
it's really tiring to hold your hands still in the air for such a long time. So I got these supports placed under my arms to make my life a little bit easier. Now for a twist in the animation. Once I manage to separate the pieces, they fly up into the air, held up with this long clear
Dude, stop motion takes so much patience, bro. Like, if you don't have time in your hands, like, if you're doing, like, a stop motion that's, like, 5 seconds long and you have, like, 12 frames per second, bro, you're there for, like, an hour. And you have to get comfortable because it takes a lot of patience and, like, motivation to do those kind of stuff. So, I mean, I respect this guy, bro. This video probably took, like, a month to just make the animations.
to make my life a little bit easier. Now for a twist in the animation. Once I manage to separate the pieces, they fly up into the air, held up with these long clear pieces, which I edit away later. And when they fall back down, they stick
Yes, you
together
just cut
again,
those
making
out.
the animation loop around. The perfect loop doesn't exist, you say? Well, now it does. This animation was incredibly difficult and tiring to make. You could even say it was almost impossible. But I must say, it was worth the effort it took to
See
make.
what you did there, Jet?
Next, I want to animate a LEGO figure
Impossible.
teleporting. Now, teleportation is a very popular mode of transportation in sci-fi movies where you move from one point to another instantly. And it's unfortunately not possible in real life, trust me, I tried. But I can animate it with LEGO, and here's how. You start with the figure at its first location, take a picture, and then move to the second location, take a picture, and oh wait, that was it? Well, that was easy. Too easy and a little boring. So let's do
Yeah.
another version with a little more movement. I'll add some wiggle to the animation, and that's better, but I can still improve it. Teleportation in movies often has a spiral-like effect, and I want to recreate that with Lego. But I can't just add the spiral filter in editing, because that would be cheating. So I'm gonna try to create the spiral effect with real Lego pieces. To do this, I'm gonna take the figure apart and move the body parts in a way that makes the figure spin
That's
and become
crazy.
smaller by switching the figures with
Is that
smaller and
sticky
smaller Lego
tack?
pieces until it disappears. And then just do the reverse where I want the figure to reappear. Now we have a teleportation animation which looks pretty good. But there's one thing missing. The teleporter. So I built a simple
what?
teleportation machine and animated the figure getting teleported by it. I think that'll do it for the teleportation animations.
That's crazy.
Moving on. One of my favorite things in the Lego movies and games is how fast the characters can build stuff. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's impossible for a
Dude,
minifigure
that
to
satisfying noise. I know I use it like in my videos too. Just that satisfying noise of like the Lego build, like.
since it
My
can't
bad.
actually move in real life. So, next up, I want to animate the minifigure building something like a true master builder. And since I want the minifigure to build something really fast, I'll use the super speed techniques from earlier to animate this
yeah.
minifigure building the YouTube logo out of Lego. I threw some bricks on the base plate and began animating, using multiple minifigures and the brick blurs I built earlier to give the figure the illusion of speed while building. And I think it turned out really nice.
Cool. So you see what he means? Like there's 3 minifigures in here just for like speed, but it's technically only 1. But like it's kind of like a Flash Lego movie type of thing.
The average person cannot jump very
Mark
high.
Zuckerberg.
Meanwhile, the average Lego figure cannot jump at all. So I animated a minifigure jumping. Now that's not very high. So another superpower I want to animate are super jumps. But how do you animate a Lego figure jumping higher than a stud? You
She's
can't
not a-
just stick
she's
it
a
in the air,
jump star.
hope it stays there. Thanks to gravity, it'll just fall down. You need to hold it up with something. I like to use some Lego bricks and then stick the figure onto it with some sticky tack. And between each
He's
frame,
just
I'll just add
floating
some
there.
bricks to it to make the tower taller. Once I'm done animating the jump, I edit the ugly tower away. I'll make a tutorial on this one day, so make sure you're subscribed. I also made an animation of the figure jumping onto a platform, and I used this very satisfying build made up of these hinge pieces to hold up the figure in the air.
That's
Here's
crazy.
the animation. Front flips and back flips seem impossible. I know they aren't impossible. There are many that can do them, but for me, they're definitely impossible. But what I can do instead is animate a Lego minifigure doing a sick flip. It's done just like the jumping animations, but the figure spins in the air. That turned out pretty good.
That's
Let's see if we
cool,
can do
bro.
a front flip as well. Not
Dude,
bad.
I've always wanted
Next
to, like,
up,
learn
I
how
want
to
to make
do
a
a
Lego figure
backflip.
fly. And flying is of course actually possible. If you have an airplane. But this figure doesn't. So I'm gonna animate the Lego figure defying the laws of physics by making it fly on its own. Just like Superman. And we can use the same technique I used to animate the jumping animations to make a
Right,
Lego
just-
figure fly.
just
Here's the
use
rig I
that
used to hold up the
contraption.
figure flying. It's made up of these ball joint pieces for maximum flexibility in the animation. Anyway, here's the animation. That turned out surprisingly good, and
Dude,
I'm
those
not done
physics,
animating
bro.
flying just yet. If I pop out the arms of a minifigure and then place them like this, I can make the minifigure flap its arms like a bird. So, I made a silly little animation of the figure flying away like a bird. Now for my favorite animations of this video, trick shots. Trick shots can seem impossible as they require insane precision and luck. So I chose a few
Dude,
trick shots I want to
perfect.
recreate with Lego. First of all, the classic bottle flip.
Do you guys know I actually like met Dude Perfect? It was like on one of their tour things. So we're basically broskies, you know?
I got this Lego bottle piece and then built a tiny table and then animated the flip. I then wanted to animate one of those ping pong ball trick shots,
Dude,
so I got this
perfect.
1x1 stud to represent the ball and then built this tiny course for it. I then animated the ball bouncing through it and into the goal.
Okay guys, we're back here with the ping pong trick shots. Here we go.
Then animated the ball bouncing through it and into the goal. Next, I animated a backwards basketball shot. And since I didn't have a Lego basketball hoop piece, I ended up
I
using
have
the
one of
plastic
those.
ring found below the ball cap as a replacement. And I must say, it fits perfectly. This throw
Yeah.
took a really long time to animate and edit. Here it is.
That's cool.
I've seen some cool archery trick shots on YouTube, so I wanted to do that as well. I found this Lego bow and arrow piece, and then used these round pieces as balloons for targets. Then I animated the arrow flying through all of the balloons in a single shot. By the way, I used Lego flower pieces to create the popping effect of the balloons. Here's the
That's cool.
animation. Moving on from trick shots. Lego minifigures can do
Bro,
something
like,
we
how do you
humans
do that kind of
absolutely
stuff?
cannot
That's
do.
crazy.
And that is detaching body parts. So Lego minifigures can just pop up and do a full 180 with their torso, and it looks really funny animated. Also, if I rotate the legs 180 degrees and then animate it walking, I end up with a question. Is this minifigure walking forwards or backwards? Let me know in the comments.
I think, wait, let me rewatch
Animate
it
it
real quick.
walking, I end up with a question. Is this minifigure
He's walking backwards. Because his legs are like the ones like the legs are the one like legs control on where you're going, you know? Like they're like they make you go place to place, whereas your torso, it's like the same thing as like a car, bro. Like you're backing up when the car's in front, you know?
walking
If that makes
forwards or
sense.
backwards? Let me know in the comments. One of my favorite animations I've made is the stretching minifigure animation. So I wanted to take this a
That's
step
sick,
further
bro.
by stretching a figure and then twisting it. And Lego figures are solid and not twistable, so that's impossible.
Yeah.
But you can use jumper plates like this to create a spiraling build. So I'm gonna use this technique on the minifigure. I got a whole bunch of
I've
1x2
used that
jumper plates
technique
in the
in the
same
past
colors
before.
as the minifigure and then just built up with them. Now I have this figure that's 4 normal minifigures tall that I can twist like this to give it that spiraling look. So I animated the animation itself, and this one turned out really good. Enjoy.
Dude, that's crazy.
Cutting
bro.
Lego in half with a butter knife
What?
is impossible, but I can do it and have done it. With animation, of course. By switching a Lego piece with 2 half as long pieces, I can make cutting Lego look as easy as cutting butter. And I actually made a bunch of Lego cutting animations in my satisfying videos, which you should definitely
Chat W video, bro. That deserves a like. Alright, dude. Animate a Lego minifigure eating a chicken nugget. Bro, these are so satisfying. I think I just gained a few extras in my life. Yeah, bro, this video is peak.